5 years after graduation, some of my old classmates, people who always thought they were better than me, sent me an invite to our high school reunion. The reason? Simple. They wanted a good laugh at the loser they used to pick on. Back in the day, I was the quiet kid, the one they called strange. My name's Ethan Carter, and at Rutherford High, I stood out in all the wrong ways. So when I showed up that night, hoodie faded, sneakers worn down, the Snickers started right away. Josh, the loudmouth, was grinning. Blake wouldn't shut up about his startups. Tyler even got on the mic to roast me in front of everyone. But the thing is, I didn't flinch. While they were laughing, I kept my cool. And when I finally stepped forward, the room went silent. They didn't know it yet, but the same guy they mocked was about to drop something that would wipe every smug smile clean off their faces. Before I get too deep into this, let me just say, if you're new here, thanks for listening. It means a lot, and if you enjoy stories like this, share your thoughts or pass it on to a friend. Now, back to that night. The invite showed up in a plain white envelope buried under junk mail at my small apartment. The handwriting was neat but stiff, like someone wanted it to look fancy but didn't quite nail it. Class of 2018 reunion, you're invited. I held it for a long time, my thumb running along the crease. The venue name stood out, Jefferson Academy Banquet Hall, the same private school where I'd spent years feeling like I didn't belong. Those hallways still lived in my head, lockers too bright, floors polished so smooth every step echoed, me walking with hunched shoulders, clutching books like armor. I was smart, teachers said it all the time, but none of that mattered. The whispers followed me, weird kid. Won't last a year. Too shy. Won't make it. Those words used to sting. Now they were just echoes. I set the envelope down on my chipped table, almost tossed it out. But a small smile crept in. Because they didn't know what I'd been up to. 5 years, that's all it had been since I walked out of that school for good. 5 years of long nights, failed ideas, endless coding marathons, and people still underestimating me. Until one day, the world didn't. Now, I wasn't just Ethan Carter, the quiet kid they teased. I was the founder and CEO of a fast-growing tech company worth more than any of them could imagine, and no one from that class had a clue. I glanced at the crooked mirror on my wall. My hoodie was stretched, sneakers beat up. I didn't look like a CEO, and I liked it that way. If they wanted to laugh, fine. Let them think I was still the same kid. I slipped the invite into my pocket. This wasn't just a reunion, it was my stage. And when the night came, every laugh would catch in their throats. When I walked into Jefferson Banquet Hall that night, rain still clung to my hoodie. The air smelled like lemon polish, and the buzz of a projector filled the room. Gold balloons framed a table stacked with name tags. I found mine, Ethan Carter written in smooth cursive, and pinned it to my hoodie, feeling the needle snag a loose thread. Heads turned, nothing dramatic, just a ripple of curiosity moving through the room. Then the chatter started again, but thinner this time, with little smirks mixed in. "Yo, that's him, right?" someone whispered. "Yeah," another voice answered. "Same hoodie vibe. Told you he never changed." A soft laugh. "I heard he's stocking shelves now. Probably living with family again." I kept walking, each step sinking into the carpet. On the stage, the slideshow flipped through old photos, lacrosse jerseys, pep rallies, faces I hadn't seen in years. The slideshow kept rolling, crowns, trophies, some science fair ribbon I'd once refused to even pose with. Then Tyler Voss, the self-proclaimed king of our class, stood on stage as the MC. His jaw was tight, his shiny cufflinks catching the light. He tapped the mic and grinned. "Reunited and richer," he said. A couple of laughs, mostly fake. I picked a table near the back, half hidden in the shadows but with a clear view of the whole room. I poured myself some water and just watched, the way a programmer scans logs for patterns. Quiet. Observing. Then Brooke Whitman floated past me, all glam with a champagne flute in her hand, diamond earrings flashing. "Ethan," she said, smiling but not really meaning it. "What's up, stranger? You look vintage." And just like that, she was gone, heading back toward the bar. Over there, I heard a sharp beep, the kind of sound a card reader makes when it says, "Nope." Chase was trying to buy drinks. He cleared his throat, grabbed his card back, tried another. The bartender was polite, turned the screen so only he could see. Two guys nearby filled the silence. "You hear about Chase's app? Went under. Again." "Yeah," the other said. "Investors hate messy endings." Tyler grabbed the mic again. "Alright, quick games, then and now." The screen lit up with old photos. People who'd gone to law school, med school, opened Pilates studios. Then it hit my slide, nothing but a blank gray square, photo not provided. A snicker started somewhere. Then another. "Guess some stories just don't upload," Tyler said, pretending to look sad. More laughter. I just took another sip of water, wiped the condensation ring with my sleeve. Felt my pulse steady. The whispers moved around me like static. Two girls passed behind me, voices low but close enough. "Who even invited him?" "Tyler. Said it'd be funny." "Savage. It's just a joke." Brooke came back, this time with a little group, Chase, Haley Roman, a couple others. Brooke tilted her chin. "So, Ethan, what's the grind? Still doing that computer stuff?" I nodded once. "Something like that." "Nice," Chase said a little too loud. "We're all building things, you know. Startups, exits coming. Just a matter of timing." He tugged at his blazer like it was too tight. "Market's weird," Haley muttered, but one look from Chase shut her up. Across the room, a little photo printer was spitting out glossy pictures, and above the stage a clean white banner read, "Class of 2018, presented by Summit Gatherings." I glanced at it for a second, then moved on. No one followed my eyes. They never did. The award started, paper certificates with shiny borders. Best glow up. Most international. Biggest boss energy. Each joke stacked on the last, a little shakier every time. Tyler's smile tightened whenever the laughs didn't come fast enough. Finally, he held up one last envelope like a magician. "Honorable mention," he said. "Most likely to still be different." Then he looked around. "Ethan, you here?" All the eyes turned. Someone coughed, a short, cutting sound. I didn't rush. I let the silence settle, felt my heartbeat but didn't speed up. I pushed my chair back slow, stood, and gave a small nod, polite, unreadable. "Thanks," I said, nothing more. Then I sat back down. The mic wandered off, the joke stumbling behind it. Around me, the chatter started weaving itself back together. Why'd he even show up? Content, someone said, like I was a prop. Nah, another voice, quieter now. He's too calm. That's something. The projector hummed. Air vents whispered overhead. Glasses clinked as people toasted themselves. I folded the edge of my napkin into sharp right angles, one after another, patient hands building a little white square. And I waited, letting the room tell on itself. The night dragged on, the music pushing fake energy into the space. Voices got too loud when they bragged, laughter too sharp when it fell flat. I stayed still, like the center of a storm. A waiter walked by with shrimp skewers. Tyler grabbed one without looking, snapped the tail off, and tossed it into an empty glass. Chase was in the middle of bragging about seed funding and market timing when his phone buzzed. He snatched it off the table, eyes lit for half a second, then dimmed. "Just an investor follow-up," he muttered, sliding the screen face down. The truth was right there in bold letters, final notice. The whispers around me moved like smoke. Think he heard? Nah, guy probably Ubered here. A couple of laughs floated behind me. Someone pointed low, man, check out those shoes. Bet they've seen some miles. Each little jab brushed my back like cold wind. I finished my water, set the glass down carefully, and wiped the ring with my hoodie sleeve, same slow circle. Then I looked up and locked eyes with Tyler. Tyler was still on the mic, riding the spotlight too hard. All right, he called, voice buzzing with fake charisma, time for a quick shout-out to our sponsor tonight. He gestured at the decorations, the balloons, the catered trays, even the half-asleep DJ. None of this would be possible without a generous contribution. I straightened my shoulders, breathing in slow, out slow. Tyler flipped through his cards. So, let's give it up for Summit Gatherings, who, he paused, staring at a blank card. Well, looks like they wanted to stay anonymous. But hey, big thanks anyway. A few polite claps, a whistle or two. That's when I stood. The sound of my chair scraping the floor was louder than the DJ. Heads turned. I didn't rush. I walked toward the stage steady, calm. Tyler's grin flickered, then thinned as I climbed the steps. I didn't grab the mic right away. Just stood there, adjusting my sleeve, letting the silence stretch until every glass stopped clinking and every voice faded. Then I spoke, low but clear. Thanks for coming out tonight, I said, my eyes sweeping the room, not angry, just steady, the way a camera takes in a shot. And thanks to Summit Gatherings, which is, well, me. Confusion rippled across the room. A half-laugh started somewhere, but it choked out fast. I pulled my phone from my pocket, tapped the screen. The projector behind me blinked. The slideshow cut to black. Then the headlines started rolling. Carter Technologies raises $40 million in Series B. The new face of AI infrastructure. And finally, a Forbes cover, me in a sharp suit, 5 years older, staring straight at the lens. Gasps broke out. Someone near the bar whispered too loud, that's him. Another stammered, no way, Photoshop. But the proof kept coming, one article after another. I looked out at the faces, the same ones that once snickered in crowded hallways. My voice softened. So when you ask what I'm doing these days, something like this. I slid the phone back into my pocket. The projector froze on one last line. Estimated net worth, $108 million. The silence that followed wasn't cruel or mocking. It was heavy. The kind that makes throats tight and hands clammy. I let it sit there, breathed it in, then smiled. A small one. The kind that says the joke's over, and you missed it. For a moment, no one moved. The projector light seemed to freeze everything, faces caught half-turned, glasses lifted but forgotten. The laughter from earlier was gone, hanging in the air like a ghost no one wanted to meet. Tyler still clutched the mic, his confident grin cracked and brittle now. Well, his voice cracked, the sound of someone skating on thin ice. In the crowd, Chase shifted in his seat, tugging at his blazer. Brooks' champagne glass rattled against the table. The bubbles from the champagne fizzed too loud in the hush that followed. Whispers shot through the tables like sparks. Is that real? Check your phone, dude, Google it. A group by the bar already had their phones out. Screens lit up, faces washed in that cold blue glow. One by one, the headlines confirmed it, Forbes, TechCrunch, investor lists, all of it lining up perfectly. Ethan Carter wasn't just doing well. He was untouchable. And then came the shift, the quiet, creeping shame. I could feel it ripple through the room. Those same mouths that once called me weird were clamped shut now. Those same eyes that used to roll when I walked past couldn't even meet mine. I didn't move, didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The silence was doing the work for me. At the far side of the room, two classmates forgot how sound carries. "Why'd we laugh?" one said. "Because we thought he'd never make it." "And now," the second voice cracked. "Now he's everything we said he couldn't be." Tyler lowered the mic. The guy who lived for attention suddenly seemed small behind the podium. I didn't even look at him. I just let the truth settle like dust, slow, heavy, impossible to ignore. The kid in the worn hoodie wasn't the joke anymore. He was the standard. I stepped closer to the edge of the stage, my shadow stretching across the floor. My voice carried, calm and steady, no anger in it. "You see, what you called weird was vision. What you called failure was patience. And the things you laughed at, they became the reason you're standing in a hall I paid for." A few people shifted uncomfortably, their expensive suits suddenly feeling heavier. Brooke lowered her glass. Chase stared at the floor. Tyler fumbled with his cue cards like they could somehow rewrite the night. I let the pause grow thicker, then gave a small nod. "The difference between us isn't luck," I said. "It's what we chose to believe, about ourselves, and about each other." Then I stepped off the stage. Walked right past their stunned faces and toward the exit. No one stopped me. No one dared. The laughter they once threw at me now belonged only to memory, twisted into something bitter. The mockery they thought was harmless now felt like a mirror. I left that hall with my head high, the cool night air on my face. The label of loser was gone, stripped clean. Because I hadn't just won, I owned the stage they tried to bury me on. And as I walked away, I thought, if you were in my shoes, mocked, underestimated, written off, would you show them what you became, or would you walk out in silence?